Welcome to Healthier Daily. I am Dr. Ben Carter. I want to start today with a confession. For over 30 years as a physician, I have watched a dangerous game being played with your health. I have seen the contracts. I have seen the emails. Big supplement companies pay influencers thousands of dollars to look into a camera and tell you protein powder is just like food. It is safe. Drink as much as you want. They are lying to you. Protein powder is not just food. It is a highly concentrated industrial product. And when you put a concentrated chemical into a senior body that has older kidneys and a sensitive liver, strange things start to happen. I have seen patients come into the ER with kidney failure. I have seen hearts under massive stress. And when we ask them what changed, they say I started drinking 3 protein shakes a day to get strong. They thought they were building muscle, but they were actually clogging their own filters. To explain why this happens and how to stop it, Dr. Hinohara is here. He has a very powerful way of explaining the difference between eating a steak and drinking a powder.
Thank you, Dr. Ben. Yes, we must understand the physics of our body. I want you to imagine your kidneys are like a filter in your coffee machine. When you eat a piece of chicken or an egg, digestion is slow. It is like pouring water slowly over the filter. It drips through perfectly. The filter stays clean. But protein powder is different. It is pre-digested. It hits your system all at once. Imagine taking a bag of dry cement and dumping it into that coffee filter and then adding just a tiny bit of water. What happens? It does not flow. It clumps. It hardens. It clogs the filter completely. This is what we call the filtration load. When you drink a thick shake on an empty stomach without enough fluid, you are forcing your kidneys to filter dry cement. This causes inflammation. It causes stones. And over time, it burns out the filter.
That is a scary image. The cement hardening in the filter. But does this mean you should throw your protein powder in the trash? No. Because as seniors, we face another enemy, sarcopenia. That is the muscle loss that makes us frail. You need protein to fight it. So we are stuck in a dilemma. You need the protein to save your muscles, but the powder can hurt your kidneys. The solution is not to stop using it. The solution is to change how you use it. We have identified 6 fatal mistakes that turn this healthy supplement into a toxic burden. If you avoid these 6 mistakes, protein powder becomes one of the best tools for longevity. If you ignore them, you are gambling with your organs. Today, we are going to give you the safety manual that the manufacturers forgot to print on the label. We will cover the storage, the mixing, the timing, and the hidden metals. Before we reveal the first mistake, I want you to be honest with me. Go to your kitchen. Pick up your tub of protein. Does it have a label that says NSF or Informed Choice? Or is it just a random brand you bought on sale? Tell me in the comments. Your answer matters more than you think. And if you are ready to learn how to unclog the filter and build muscle, safely hit that subscribe button. Let us start with the mistake that happens before you even open the jar.
Welcome back. We understand that protein powder is like dry cement. Now we must look at where you keep that cement. I want you to answer this. Where is your tub of protein right now? Is it on top of the refrigerator? Is it on the kitchen counter next to the stove? Or worse, is it in the bathroom cabinet? If you said yes to any of those, you might be poisoning yourself. This brings us to mistake number 6, improper storage.
Here is the science. Protein powder is hygroscopic. That is a fancy word that means it loves water. It pulls moisture out of the air like a sponge. If you keep it in the bathroom every time you take a hot shower, the steam gets into the jar. If you keep it near the stove, the steam from your cooking gets in. You might not see it, but that moisture creates a breeding ground for microscopic mold and bacteria. We call these mycotoxins. You cannot smell them. You cannot taste them. But when you drink them, they attack your liver.
So here is the dry pantry rule. Never store protein in the bathroom. Never store it above the stove or fridge it is too hot. Keep it in a dark, cool cupboard. The spoon test. If you put a wet spoon inside the jar, throw the whole jar away. You just contaminated the whole batch. Always use a bone-dry spoon.
Now let's assume your powder's fresh. How are you drinking it? I see so many seniors doing this next mistake because they want to save time in the morning. They stir their protein powder into their hot coffee, or they mix it with orange juice. This is mistake number 5, the wrong liquid. Let's talk about heat first. Protein is a delicate molecule. It is like a ball of yarn. When you expose it to high heat like hot coffee, the yarn unravels and tangles up. We call this denaturing. Think of an egg. When the egg is raw, it is liquid. When you boil it, it turns into hard rubber. You cannot turn the rubber back into liquid. When you put protein powder in boiling coffee, you are turning it into rubber instantly. It forms hard clumps that your stomach cannot digest. This causes bloating, gas, and stomach pain.
The 30-degree rule. If the liquid is hot enough to burn your finger, it is hot enough to ruin the protein. Only mix protein with warm or cold liquids. If you want protein coffee, let the coffee cool down first, then add the powder.
And what about acids? Some seniors mix whey protein with orange juice or lemonade. Bad idea. Whey protein is dairy. Orange juice is acid. What happens when you mix milk and acid? It curdles. It turns into cottage cheese. If you drink that, you are putting a lumpy, curdled mess into your stomach. If you have acid reflux or GERD, this is a recipe for disaster. The safe solution: mix your protein with water. The best. Almond milk or oat milk, neutral. Cold coffee, neutral. So keep the powder dry and keep the liquid cool. Now we have to talk about the filter again. You have the right powder and the right liquid, but if you get this next ratio wrong, you are asking for kidney stones. We need to talk about hydration.
Welcome back. We have the right storage and the right liquid. But now we have to talk about the most dangerous part of the plumbing, your kidneys. Remember the coffee filter analogy. If you pour thick, heavy mud into a filter and you don't add enough water, what happens? The mud dries. It turns into rock. The filter tears. This brings us to mistake number 4, the dehydration trap.
Here is the biology that nobody explains to seniors. Protein is amazing, but it is dirty fuel. When your body burns carbohydrates, the waste is just air, carbon dioxide. You breathe it out. Easy. But when your body burns protein, the waste is nitrogen and ammonia. These are toxins. Your kidneys have to work very hard to wash them out. To wash them out, your kidneys need water. A lot of it. If you drink a protein shake but you don't drink extra water, you are asking your kidneys to flush a toilet with no water in the tank.
And when there is no water to flush the waste stays behind. It clumps together. It crystallizes. This is how you get kidney stones. If you have ever passed a kidney stone, you know it is a pain worse than childbirth. We want to avoid that at all costs.
So how much water is enough? We have a medical formula called the 78 ml rule. Science shows that for every single gram of protein, your body needs about 78 ml of water to process it safely. Let's make the math simple. If you have 1 scoop of protein powder, usually 25 grams, your kidneys need 2 extra cups of water just to break even. Most seniors drink the shake and think they're hydrated. No, the shake uses up water. You are actually dehydrating yourself.
To fix this, we use a technique called the water sandwich. Imagine the protein is the meat and water is the bread. You need bread on both sides. Step 1. Drink 1 glass of plain water before your shake. Pre-soak the filter. Step 2. Drink your protein shake. Step 3. Drink 1 glass of plain water after your shake. Flush the filter.
If you do this, the cement never hardens. It flows right through. Your kidneys stay happy, your blood pressure stays down, and you avoid the stones. So we have fixed the plumbing. The water is flowing. But now, we have to look at the powder itself again. What if I told you that inside that white powder, there might be invisible ingredients that are slowly poisoning your brain? We are talking about lead and arsenic, and you won't believe which type of protein has the most of it.
Welcome back. We have talked about the water. Now we must talk about the powder itself. I have a question that might scare you. When you bought that tub of protein, did you buy the cheapest one on the shelf? Or did you buy the one with the pretty green leaf on the label because it looked natural? If you did, you might be feeding your brain with heavy metals. This brings us to mistake number 2, the contamination trap.
Here is the dirty secret of the supplement industry. The FDA does not strictly regulate protein powder before it goes to the store. Companies can put almost anything in that jar, sell it to you, and nobody checks it until people get sick. A nonprofit group called the Clean Label Project tested 134 top-selling protein powders. The results were terrifying. 70% contained lead, 74% contained cadmium, 55% contained BPA, a chemical that messes with your hormones. Now you might think it's just a tiny bit, Dr. Ben. What's the big deal? The big deal is bioaccumulation. Lead does not leave your body. It stays in your bones and your brain. If you drink a lead shake every morning for 5 years, that lead builds up. It causes memory loss, brain fog, and tremors that look like Parkinson's.
And here is the shocking twist. Most seniors think I will buy plant-based protein. Plants are clean. Whey is dirty. Actually, the opposite is often true. The study found that plant-based proteins like rice or pea protein had the highest levels of heavy metals. Why? Because plants are sponges. They absorb everything from the soil. If the protein comes from cheap farms in polluted areas, the rice sucks up the arsenic and lead from the ground. Whey protein comes from cows. The cow's liver filters out some of those toxins before they get into the milk.
So does this mean you should never use plant protein? No. It just means you cannot trust a brand just because it says organic or natural. You need proof. The 3 seals of safety. Go to your pantry right now. Look at your jar. You are looking for a tiny logo on the back or bottom. NSF certified for sport, a blue circle. Informed choice, a green check mark. USP verified, a yellow and green seal. These are independent laboratories. They take the powder and test it. They certify that there is no lead, no arsenic, and no hidden chemicals. If your jar does not have one of these seals, you are gambling. My advice, throw it away. It is not worth saving $10 if it costs you your brain cells.
So buy quality. Look for the seal. Now we have the clean powder, the right liquid, and the water sandwich. But we have arrived at the number one mistake. This is the mistake that 902% of people make. It happens in the morning. And if you do this, you might destroy your stomach lining and block your medicines. Welcome back. We have the clean powder with the seal. We have the right liquid. But now we have to look at your morning routine. This is the mistake that 92% of protein users make. You wake up, you are hungry. You walk to the kitchen and mix a shake. You drink it on an empty stomach. Stop! This is mistake number one, the empty stomach shock. I want you to imagine your stomach lining is like a delicate carpet. When you eat an egg, the egg has fat and structure. It lands on the carpet gently. But protein powder is an isolate. It is chemically stripped. When it hits your empty stomach, it acts like acid. Your stomach panics. It produces a massive wave of hydrochloric acid to process this concentrated dust. If you do this every morning for years, you burn holes in the carpet. This is why so many seniors get gastritis, ulcers, and mysterious stomach pain. You are chemical burning your own gut.
And there is a second danger to the empty stomach. Remember the heavy metals, lead, arsenic we talked about. Even the best brands have tiny trace amounts. When your gut is empty, it is like a dry sponge. It is desperate to absorb anything. Studies suggest that on an empty stomach, your body absorbs up to 400% more of those contaminants than if you had food in your system. And let's not forget insulin. Pure protein on an empty stomach spikes your insulin almost as fast as sugar. If you are pre-diabetic this morning, shake is putting you on a metabolic roller coaster for the rest of the day.
The solution, the bio buffer. Never drink protein naked. You must dress it up. You need a buffer to slow down the absorption and protect your stomach lining. The buffer formula: fat, add a spoon of peanut butter or avocado. Fiber, add a banana or a handful of oats. Solids, eat a piece of toast before you drink the shake. If you add fat and fiber, the sledgehammer turns into a handshake. Your stomach digests it slowly. The acid stays low. The insulin stays stable.
Now, while we are talking about timing, we have to talk about your pills. This is mistake number 3, the medication blockade. Many of you take medicine in the morning. Thyroid medicine, levothyroxine, antibiotics, blood pressure pills. Here is the chemistry. Protein molecules are sticky. They like to bind to things. If you swallow your thyroid pill and then wash it down with a protein shake, the protein wraps around the medicine like a blanket. Your body absorbs the protein, but the medicine gets trapped and passes right through you. You think you took your medicine, but biologically you missed a dose. I have seen patients whose thyroid numbers went crazy just because they started drinking whey protein for breakfast. Antibiotics like Cipro or tetracycline are the same. They bind to the calcium in the whey and become useless.
The safety window rule: treat your protein shake like a meal, not a drink. Thyroid meds: wait at least 4 hours after taking your pill before drinking protein. Take the pill at 6 a.m. Drink the shake at 10 a.m. Antibiotics: wait 2 hours before or after.
So let's review the morning strategy. Wake up. Take your meds with water only. Wait for the safety window. Eat a small buffer toast or nuts. Then drink your clean, cool, hydrated protein shake. It sounds like a lot of steps, But once you build the habit, it is easy, and it protects your gut, your kidneys, and your prescriptions. We have covered the horrors, we have covered the mistakes, but I don't want to leave you scared. I want to leave you with a recipe. Dr. Hinohara and I have created the perfect senior shake. It tastes good, it protects your kidneys, and it builds muscle without the side effects. So take a deep breath. We have covered a lot of scary ground today. We talked about the mold in the bathroom. We talked about the dry cement in your kidneys. And we talked about the lead in the cheap brands. But please do not misunderstand our message. We are not telling you to stop taking protein. In fact, if you are over 60, you need protein more than you did when you were 20. Sarcopenia, muscle loss, is a real killer. You need the bricks to build the house. We just want you to build the house without burning down the neighborhood. To help you do that, Dr. Hinohara and I have designed the ultimate recipe. We call it the Golden Senior Shake.
This recipe fixes every single mistake we talked about today. It is safe, it is buffered, it is hydrated. Get your pen and paper. Here is your new morning routine. The Golden Shake formula, the liquid start with 12 ounces of cold water or unsweetened almond milk. Never hot coffee, never juice. The buffer fiber, add half a banana or a handful of oats. This protects your stomach lining. The break fat, add 1 teaspoon of almond butter or walnut oil. This slows down digestion so your liver doesn't panic. The protein, add 1 scoop of your NSF-certified protein powder. The spice, add a dash of cinnamon. This helps regulate your blood sugar spike. Blend it up. And remember the water sandwich rule. Drink a glass of plain water before you sip this and a glass after you finish.
If you drink this shake, you are not just drinking chemicals. You are drinking a complete balanced meal. Your kidneys will thank you. Your muscles will thank you. Now, a final and very important medical safety warning. We are doctors, so we must be responsible. Chronic kidney disease, CKD. If your doctor has told you that your kidneys are failing, stage 3 or higher, you must limit your protein. High protein can accelerate kidney failure in these specific cases. Do not start this protocol without showing this video to your nephrologist. Gout. If you suffer from gout, be careful with certain types of protein. Whey is usually safe, but some plant proteins can trigger a flare-up. Listen to your body. If you feel nauseous, bloated, or get brain fog after drinking protein, stop immediately. It might be the brand or it might be your liver telling you no. If this video saved you from making a dangerous mistake, please do us a huge favor and hit that like button. It helps us break through the noise of the supplement industry and reach more seniors who need the truth. And please share this video. Send it to your gym buddy. Send it to your husband who puts protein in his coffee. You might save his stomach. If you are not yet part of our Healthier Daily community, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. We are here to help you get strong safely. And for our final question, what is your favorite thing to add to your shake? Do you like berries? Do you like peanut butter? Or do you drink it plain? Tell us in the comments below. Maybe we can improve the recipe together.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, health is not just about what you take. It is about how you take it. Treat your body with respect. Keep the filter clean. Be strong. Be well.